Thank you. Gracias. Por favor. I just want to say the first thing, Mr. Quiñones, you are the reason that I watched the news when I was a kid growing up. I gotta say, the first time I saw you, I said, coño, man, there's no way to rewind the TV. Maybe someday. So I would watch, I would stay up. I said, Mommy, please, 6:30, hold off to novela for a minute. I gotta see this guy. So it's an honor to be here with you. Thank you. I'm so honored to have 3 of my incredible children here. My son Semi, my daughter Yemaya, and my daughter Luna. If you could please stand up, let the world see how beautiful you are. Thank you. So, I don't know if you know this about me, but before I got into acting, I was a social worker on the Lower East Side. I was a social worker. I'm gonna make out an application, so give me a second. And it was, for me, my dream job because I was helping people to help themselves. I was helping young people to get off the welfare rolls, you know, to make a life for themselves. Back in those days, to get a GED and go on to community college and get a job and be somebody and to take charge of their life. I was never thinking about becoming an actor. One day, I went out into the street looking for 2 of my young people that didn't show up. I ran into Miguel Piñero, who wrote Short Eyes. That's right. And I hadn't seen Mikey in a few years, and he comes to me, hey, Lou, how you doing, baba? And I'm waiting for a TV show. They're gonna come to New York. They're gonna be looking for people. Maybe you should check it out. Yeah, okay. He gave me the number. I called up, got an appointment, waited 3 hours to say 3 lines. It was worse than going to a dentist appointment, right? Back in those days. So I waited 3 hours, and I go in, I'm ready to do my lines, and the casting director says, kill me with your eyes. And I said, carajo, it doesn't say that here. And she goes, like, give me a mean look. So I gave her a mean look. She goes, thank you. And I thought, I left. Bueno, 3 weeks later, I'm co-starring on the season premiere of Miami Vice. I had no clue what I was doing. But I want to tell you this. I want to tell you this, people. From day one, when I started in my career, one of the things that I've always used to do, I always used to look around to see how much diversity there was on a movie set or on a TV set. And for too long, I could count on half my hand how many people of diversity were working on those productions. And normally those jobs were reserved for the people who had to sit out all night and make sure nobody parked in the production truck thing, or the brother that had to come by and get the black garbage bags from craft services. And that bothered me. That bothered me because it was like, you know, when I first started out in this business, check this out, I'm Boricua, Puerto Riqueño, you know. My first job, I played a Colombian. My second job, I played a Mexicano. I said, man, maybe they don't know that there's Puerto Ricans. No, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Because I was building my foundation, right? Well, I just want you to know that even in this moment, I pinch myself because I say, oh, wow, look at where you are. You're up here, you're getting this award and stuff. You know, the most important asset that I find in my life is to always be humble, you know, because you might have it today but lose it tomorrow, but the best thing about life is at least I did it. I was there, I tasted it, I know what it's like, you know. I'll tell you what, listening to Wilmer and the speech that he made about me was so inspiring. And I said, wow, you know, I mean, I love this man. We met on a movie. We've been brothers since, not friends, we've been brothers, you know. I love what I do, you know. I gotta say, one of the questions that I got asked tonight, so when is Hollywood gonna let Latinos in? It's the constant question that I get. And I understand that question, and I understand where it comes from. I believe, though, that we, as Latinos, that we are talented, that we are rich in talent. We are an amazing people. We are writers, directors, producers, makeup people, sound people. You know, sometimes I listen to that question and I say, you know what? My response to that is, I get it. You know, I understand who controls this industry. But there's nothing wrong with us taking charge of an industry because we have the talent. We have the knowledge. We have the know-how. We know how to get on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. You know, we can make movies. Now, my biggest beef with our community has always been this. Okay, you know what? I don't need Hollywood to let me in the door. I know how to walk in the door. We know how to walk in the door. But when is that one Latino gonna stand up and say, or Latina, stand up and say, you know what? Here's $25 million. Come up with 5 or 10 projects. Do them. Show the world our talent because we're capable, you know? Yeah, so this whole thing about the Oscars, I get it. But you know, I go beyond that. I think about, you know what? We're talented people. I keep going back to that. Yeah, you know, it is a struggle. I agree with the struggle. I'm part of the struggle. I represent. But I also feel that it's really important that we as a community continue to represent ourselves and represent ourselves like, you know, they came up with a couple of Latin TV networks and they didn't do too well. I don't know why. I hear they have too many reruns on them and stuff like that. Not much in the way of new content. And it's like, we're better than that. We've always been better than that, you know? The first image that I saw, excuse my language, but I'm gonna use it, was an asshole named Trump this evening. You know, I respect our people, I respect all people. You know, and just like we could put all that energy into just saying how terrible of a person this is and we're not gonna vote for him, well, we could do the same if we put energy into going to the movies and supporting some of our projects, you know? I got a very interesting thought here. I'm on a wonderful, incredible show called Cold Black. And I love that show because I'm representing not only Latinos, but I represent nurses, you know? Nurses are the ones that really do run hospitals, I've come to learn. But, you know, every week it's like, so how did we do with our numbers? And there's this thing called the Nielsen ratings and things like that. Well, you know, I wonder, has anybody ever done a study about the Nielsen ratings to see how many of those little boxes are in a Latin home? You know, because like I said, 25% of us go see movies? We support the film industry. So, you know, I don't think it's the battle about going into a studio and saying, we want this, we demand that. I say, why don't we just do our own thing? We see how it works. We know how it works. You see? But are we willing to step up and say, I'm willing to be part of funding this project? But, you know, on another note, you guys, we have to make sure that, you know what, if we're gonna be up for the battle, then that material has to be there for the battle. Good material. We want to get nominated for an Academy Award, for a SAG, for a Golden Globe. Our material has to be there. Because, you know, I get sent a lot of stuff. I want to support people. I'll do a movie that's $100,000 that somebody says, I'll pay you $150. It better be good. It better be something that my mother would want to see. You know, I love what I do, and I love representing my community. I will always represent my community. I will always tell people how it is. I won't let nobody step on us. I work too hard, too long. But you know what? Do not make the mistake of allowing ourselves to step on one another. I'm going to finish this real quick now. The biggest problem that I find in our community is we're a little too fragmented. You know, we have Latinos in New York, we have Latinos in the West Coast, in the Midwest, Chicago, San Antonio. Man, we have the numbers to change the face of entertainment, of politics, if we want, of economics, if we want. If I went on Twitter, okay, Latinos, we're not buying anything for 3 hours, the economy will collapse. Okay? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that because I love Amazon.com. But the thing is that we, across the board, from coast to coast, from east to west, from north to south, we have to, you know, come together as a unit, as a Latino community, not as Mexicans, Cubans, Puerto Ricans, you name it. You know, no, hold on, because I want people to clap on that day that they say, oh wow, that's that little $2 million movie that they made in San Antonio, or that's that little $2 million movie that they made in East LA or in Oregon or whatever. And man, what a message, what a great performance. Who directed that? Who wrote that? We have the ability, you know. Please understand why I say this. I say we don't need Hollywood to open the door because we have the ability to open the door. We have the ability to create change, to make that difference. And the last thing I'm going to say is we need to elevate our young people in our communities because, you know, it's the next generation coming up 20 years from now. I don't want to come up here in a wheelchair and still talking about diversity. I don't. 20 years from now, I'll be standing in a videotape from my hamaca on a beach somewhere in Puerto Rico, thanking them for making the beautiful movies and TV that they do. We're here. We ain't going nowhere. You know, and as I once said, coño, we belong. You know, we paid our dues. You know, our parents, our grandparents worked the factories of this country. You know, we have now the ability to elect the next president of this country. You know, we don't need no walls to be built. I bought this incredible painting from a Mexican artist, and it was of these birds, and they were flying. And they were flying over a fence, and I go, what's the significance of this? They said, birds don't have borders. They fly in, they fly out. You know, this whole issue of some idiot wanting to build a border to keep people out. Well, you know, I go back in history and say, you know, maybe if this country would not have given so many military weapons to Central and South Americas for all the civil wars, maybe those people would not be trying to get over a wall or come to this country to look for a better life because of what we, not us in this room, don't take it personal, but what had been created over many years of keeping people down. You keep people down, they're going to want a better life, you know. And anyway, I know I've gone on and I ramble, but again, you know, thank you. You know, thank you, NHMC. I support you. And remember, you know, we can all make a difference. We can all work together. And again, from my heart, Andrea, thank you. She played my girlfriend on How to Make It America. I still love you for that. And again, John, thank you for everything you've done, brother. I totally appreciate it. You know, and if you ever want me on that show that you do nowadays, I love that freaking show. I love that freaking show. You know, this is my audition. Hell yeah, give me the part. You know, okay? Yeah, we could have fun, you know. But anyway, listen, enjoy the rest of your evening. Dios me lo bendiga a todos. Pa'lante siempre. And goddamn, Latinos in Beverly Hills. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, Semi, Yemaya, Luna, Dios me lo bendiga. I love you guys. Muchas gracias.